The galaxy feared one name, the Varnok. They were not just soldiers. They were destroyers. Wherever they went, they won. No planet, no creature, no weather had stopped them. Their ships were made of black metal, their weapons burned through mountains. And their leaders showed no mercy. Commander Zarn stood on the deck of the warship Ravager. Tall, silver-skinned, and with cold yellow eyes, he looked out into space. "Planet 30 is next," said his second-in-command Kelzer. "We found a small blue one, rich in air, water, life." Zarn smiled. "Another weak world." Kelzer hesitated. "It's different. The readings are ... strange. Machines die near it. Signals vanish." "That means nothing," Zarn said. "Ready the army." Within hours, a fleet of Varnok ships flew toward Earth. They didn't ask permission. They didn't speak to humans. They never did. They only came to take. Their ships entered Earth's atmosphere. For a moment, everything looked quiet too. Quiet. They chose to land in a deep forest in the northern hemisphere. Zarn, Kelzer, and a team of 20 soldiers stepped onto the green ground. "This place smells." "Soft," said Kelzer, wrinkling his nose. Zarn walked forward. "It will burn like the others." But then, the first problem came. "Commander," said a soldier, tapping his helmet, "my comms are dead." "Try another line," Kelzer ordered. "Nothing," the soldier said. "No sound, no signal." Another soldier spoke up. "Weapons not responding. Jammed." "What?" Zarn barked. "That's impossible." "But it WSN single quotes T. One of the soldiers, Vec, walked a few meters ahead and vanished. "Vec?" Kelzer shouted. "No." "Answer. Check his location." Zarn ordered. "We just lost him from the system," said another. "Like he disappeared completely." The forest grew silent. No birds. No wind. Only tension. Then they heard it, a soft whisper. Not in any language they knew. Just sounds like voices speaking through the trees. "Pull back," Kelzer said. "Something is wrong." But before they could move, another soldier screamed. The group turned. His body was floating, yes, floating above the ground. His eyes wide, his skin turning pale. Then, in a blink, he dropped. Dead. Zarn knelt beside him. "No wounds, no blood. He's empty," Zarn said quietly. "Empty?" Kelzer asked. "No thoughts, no mind." Like something took him from the inside. They moved quickly, forming a tight group, but now the sky above them turned gray. Fog rolled in. Trees shifted. "This world is not normal," Zarn said. "But we are Varnok. We move forward." They walked deeper into the forest until they found something shocking, a cave. Carved with strange markings. "What is this?" Kelzer asked, touching the wall. The symbols were old. Older than any writing in the Varnok database. Then, a part of the wall lit up. A soft voice echoed from the stone. "This world is not yours. Leave now, or be taken." The soldiers looked at each other. Even the bravest among them felt something they never had before: fear. "Let's burn it," one soldier said. Raising his plasma gun, he fired, but the blast shot backward, hitting him in the chest. He fell instantly. "Guns are turning against us," said Kelzer, stepping away. Zarn clenched his fists. "No more waiting. Call reinforcements." But when he tried to contact the fleet, the screen flashed. Error. Signal blocked. Back in orbit, Varnok commanders watched in silence. The Earth had cut all connections. The ships above couldn't see the team below. It was like they had fallen off the map. Back on the ground, Zarn made a decision. "We leave this place, now." But as they turned, the forest had changed. The path they came from? Gone. The trees had moved. And worse, the ground shook. A voice whispered again, closer this time. "You had your chance." Suddenly, black creatures rose from the shadows. Not animals. Not humans. They had long arms, hollow faces, and eyes that glowed green. The soldiers fired what they could. But energy shots vanished into smoke. Blades passed through empty air. There. Not real, one shouted. They're shadows. No, Zarn said. There's something worse. The shadows attacked fast. One soldier screamed and was pulled into the dark. Another tried to run but vanished before taking a step. Zarn and Kelzer ran toward a rocky hill. From the top, they saw the truth. The forest wasn't real. The trees moved like waves. The land, twisted like a living thing. Is the planet alive? Kelzer asked. It feels us, Zarn said. And it hates us. Only 5 of them remain now. We have to get to higher ground. Maybe from there, we can signal the fleet, said Kelzer. Climbed higher, but the higher they went, the colder it got. Snow began falling suddenly, unnaturally. In the distance, they saw lights. Civilization? One asked. No, Zarn said. It's a warning. As they got closer, the lights blinked into a message. Simple symbols ones, even the Varnak could read. Earth is not a planet. Earth is a trap. Kelzer dropped to his knees. We made a mistake. Zarn looked around. Only 3 of them left now. No, we keep going. They reached a strange tower made of stone and glass. Inside, an old machine buzzed with weak power. A transmitter. Kelzer shouted. Xarn rushed to it, pressing every button. Send signal, any signal. The machine lit up, then spoke. Message received, but no help will come. They see what you saw. And they will never come. Kelzer looked at Zarn. We are finished. Zarn clenched his jaw. No, we are Varnak. But suddenly, the walls of the tower cracked. The black mist rose again. The shadows returned. They stood around the last 3 soldiers. This time, they didn't attack. One of them stepped forward. It opened its mouth. From inside, a voice spoke, not a growl. Not a scream. It spoke in Varnak language. You conquer worlds. But some worlds fight back. What are you? Zarn demanded. We are Earth, and we are awake. The shadow moved closer to him. You were the hunters. Now you are prey. Leave your name behind. Leave your pride, or stay and disappear. The shadow touched Zarn's head. For a second he saw everything, the past of Earth, the civilizations before humans, the wars, the sacrifices, the secret powers hidden beneath. He gasped. Then, silence. The tower fell. The signal died. Above, the Varnak fleet waited. Still no word from below. The general turned to his officers. Prepare to leave orbit. But we don't know what happened to them. One officer said. The general looked at Earth. For a moment, he thought he saw eyes in the clouds. We do now, he whispered. They were not defeated. They were claimed. As the Varnak fleet turned away from Earth, the blue planet returned to silence. Peaceful, ordinary. But somewhere deep inside, the voice whispered again. We are Earth. We are watching. Come again. And vanish forever. The sky above Earth was peaceful blue, calm, soft. But far above, in the black silence of space, a new danger waited. The Varnak ships hung like dark insects, silent and heavy. They had come to take Earth. Again. Commander Sarek stood inside the dropship, ready to lead the new landing team. His armor was sharp and shining. His eyes showed no fear. But deep inside, something pulled at his thoughts. We lost contact with the first team, said his tech officer Breen. Their signal just vanished. Sarek didn't blink. The jungle might have blocked it. Breen shook his head. Sir, they were too well equipped. That forest didn't stop them. Something else did. Another soldier, Ral, stepped forward. Why are we going down then? To finish what they started, Sarek said. We are Varnak. We don't run. Their drop ship, the Vulture, cut through Earth's atmosphere. Flames licked the hull, but they held steady. Through the windows, clouds moved past like ghosts. Then, green appeared below the forest. Sarek tightened his grip on the railing. First drop in 5. When they landed, everything went silent. The team stepped out, 10 Varnock soldiers, fully armed. They expected to hear birds, wind, life. Instead, they heard nothing. No sounds, not even the wind. "This forest is wrong," Breen whispered. Trees surrounded them, tall, thick, dark. The light above felt dim, like the sky was watching. The ground was soft, almost too soft. "Set up the base here," Sarek ordered. They moved quickly. Machines unpacked. Scanners activated. Weapons were loaded. But one by one, things began to fail. "Sir," said Breen, "my tracker stopped. Use the backup." "The backup is dead too." Ral cursed under his breath. "My map says we're on the ocean." "That can't be right." Sarek frowned. "No one moves alone. Stay close. And stay sharp." They moved through the trees, looking for signs of the first team. Broken branches, scorched ground, small clues led them deeper. Then they found a helmet. It was Varnock, burned and cracked. Blood on the inside. Ral picked it up. "It's from Zarn's squad. Where's the rest of him?" Someone whispered. Sarek looked up. The trees were too still. The air too thick. It felt like something was watching them, but nothing moved. "Get back to the ship," he ordered. "Now." But when they turned, the path was gone. "What?" Breen gasped. "We just came from there." The forest had shifted. Trees stood where empty ground was moments ago. Bushes grew like they had always been there. "It's like the planet moved behind us," Ral said. "No," Sarek said quietly. "It's not the planet. It's the forest. It's alive." They turned around again, and that's when they saw a figure standing between the trees. Tall, black, motionless. "Identify yourself." Sarek shouted. The figure didn't move. Ral aimed his gun and fired. The bolt hit the figure, but it passed right through. The figure vanished like smoke. "Ghost tech?" Breen asked. Sarek shook his head. "No tech I know does that." A sudden loud crack echoed through the trees. Everyone turned, weapons ready. Another sound. A scream. "Ral?" Sarek shouted. He wasn't there. Only his gun lay on the ground, steaming. "Spread out." "Look for him," Breen yelled. "No," Sarek shouted. "We stay together." But it was too late. One more soldier vanished. Then another. Sarek counted. Only 5 remained. "Back to the ship," he shouted. They ran, trying to retrace their steps, but every turn looked the same. Trees seemed to move behind them, closing paths. Then they found something impossible. A large metal object, half buried in the ground, twisted, burned. Breen stepped closer. "Sir, this is the Ravager, the first ship." "It can't be," Sarek said. "That ship never came down." They touched the surface. Cold. There were no signs of fire, no blast, no crash marks. "It looks like it's been here for years," one said. Suddenly, static buzzed in Breen's ear. A voice came through. "Leave, before it sees you." "Who said that?" Breen asked, eyes wide. "Leave what?" Sarek asked. "Who are you?" No answer, just static. Then, the voice again. "You brought war to a prison. Now the prison has no walls." The wind picked up. This time it was cold. Not just air, something deeper. It felt like death. One of the soldiers dropped to his knees. "I can't breathe," he gasped. Breen checked his scanner. "Oxygen levels are fine." The soldier collapsed. His body turned pale. His eyes froze open. His mouth full of dirt. Sarek stepped back. "It's not killing us with weapons. It's using the world itself." More whispers. This time, louder. Not just one voice. Hundreds, crying, laughing, warning. The trees seemed to bend toward them. Then something stepped out. Not a creature, not a shadow. A copy. It looked like Sarek. Same armor. Same eyes, same voice. "Leave," it said. Sarek aimed his gun. "What are you?" The copy didn't answer. It raised its hand. Sarek fired. The blast vanished in midair. The copy blinked, then melted into the ground. Sarek turned to his team. "This isn't war. It's a trap. We can't win," Breen said. "We need to go, now." But only 3 of them were left. The rest had disappeared. No screams, no sounds, just gone. Sarek looked up. "Is the ship still there?" Breen nodded weakly. "If we can find it." They moved fast, not caring which way. Just forward. Just away. But then they saw it, a giant tree, taller than the rest. Its bark was black, and its roots pulsed like veins. At the base was a hole. Inside, lights. "The source?" Breen asked. "Or the heart," Sarek whispered. They walked closer. The lights inside were not fire. They were screens, holograms, memories, scenes from other planets, cities burning, ships crashing, soldiers screaming. "It recorded every world we took, Breen." "Syed, it knows us." One last screen showed Earth, peaceful, quiet. Then it changed. Earth's sky turned red. A voice echoed. "We watched, we waited, and now we defend." The tree trembled. Roots rose from the ground. Sarek grabbed Breen. "Run!" They sprinted. Behind them, the forest fell apart. Trees twisted. Soil cracked. They saw the ship. They ran. Inside, closed the doors, and launched. As they rose, the forest below looked up, not with eyes, but with intention. The sky turned calm again. The world looked normal. But Sarek knew the truth. "It let us go," he said. "Why?" Breen asked. "Because it wanted to send a message." Breen turned to him. "To who?" "To the rest of us," Sarek said. "To the galaxy. Back in orbit. They sent a message. Do not land again. Earth is not what it seems. It is not a planet. It is a test, and we failed." The Varnock High Council received the message, but some of them didn't believe. They would send another team, and Earth would be waiting. The Varnock Council was in chaos. 2 landing teams had gone to Earth. None had returned. 1 broken signal had come through, but even that made no sense. It spoke of a living forest, of shadows, of a planet that fought back, but the Council didn't. Fear. They were warriors. They had destroyed races stronger than Earth. They sent another team. A larger one. Not to fight, but to investigate. This time, they chose someone different. Archivist Talon. He was not a soldier. He was a collector of knowledge, a reader of ancient texts, a digger of secrets. Talon believed that power didn't just come from weapons, it came from understanding the enemy. He arrived on Earth in a small research vessel, bringing only 2 guards and a translator drone. They landed far from the forest where the soldiers had vanished. Talon didn't need to fight. He needed to listen. "This planet is not simple," Talon said to his guards as they stepped into a dry, rocky valley. "Something here is older than us." "It's just a green rock," one guard muttered. "No," Talon whispered. "It's a mirror." They moved carefully, following strange energy readings. The translator drone buzzed ahead, scanning symbols etched into the cliffs. "Sir," the drone said, "this language matches none in our database, but it appears ancient." Talon looked closer. Symbols shaped like eyes, stars, and a curled spiral that made his stomach twist. "I've seen this spiral before," he said. "Where?" A guard asked. "In a tomb," Talon replied. "On a dead world we thought we destroyed." They kept walking until the ground shifted beneath their feet. A hole opened, a perfect circle. Not a natural hole, a door. Talon smiled. "Let's go." In. The guards hesitated. The air smelled like metal and dust. Cold wind blew upward from the hole, though the sun still burned above. Talon stepped in first. Below, the tunnel walls pulsed with light. Carvings lined the stone, showing pictures not of humans, but of tall, 4-armed creatures bowing before the earth. "What are these?" The guard whispered. Talon pointed. "Worshippers." They walked deeper. At the end of the tunnel, they entered a giant underground chamber. A dome, silent, empty, but in the center stood a tall stone circle. Around it, more carvings. More stories. One showed Varnock soldiers landing. Another showed those same soldiers being swallowed by black smoke. This was made recently, Tellin said. It's showing us. It watched our people come and disappear. Suddenly, the translator drone buzzed. Its lights flashed. Sir, it said, there's something under the stone circle. A second chamber. Open it, Tellin said. Floor opened with a hiss. Air escaped, air that had not been touched in a long time. Below, they found something impossible. A Varnock helmet, scratched, burned, bloodstained. This is Zarn's, one guard said. From the first team, Tellin looked closer. Next to it, carved into the wall, were words in perfect Varnock language. We came as gods, but found the ghosts of gods greater than us. What does it mean? The guard asked Dot before Tellin could answer. The lights in the chamber flickered. The drone died. The guards raised their weapons. Then a shadow moved. Dot, it wasn't just dark. It had shape. Long bending limbs, no face. Only glowing green eyes. Identify. One guard shouted. Shadow didn't stop. It slid forward, soundless. A second one appeared. Then a third. We need to leave, the other guard said, stepping back. Tellin didn't move. They're not attacking. The shadows stood around them, not touching, just watching. Then one of them raised its arm and pointed to the carvings. Look. Tellin said. The shadows moved aside, revealing a new part of the wall. A new picture. It showed Earth, but not Earth today. Earth millions of years ago. There were cities, not human cities. Floating, glowing, alien. Towers that reached the clouds. Creatures with light for skin and eyes like stars walked the streets. Above them, a symbol, the spiral. They were here before humans, Tellin said. Before anything. They ruled this world? A guard asked. Tellin nodded. And maybe more than just this world. The shadow stepped forward again and did something no one expected. It spoke, not with sound, but directly into Tellin's mind. A deep, ancient voice, not angry, not kind. You woke the prison. You broke the gate. Now the past walks again. What do you mean? Tellin whispered. We were sealed, buried, for your safety. But you came, you dug. Who sealed you? Tellin asked. The shadow paused. Your kind, long ago, in another form. Tellin's heart stopped. You mean? The Varnock were here before? You were part of us, once, before greed. Before war. The shadow moved toward the helmet, he remembered. Too late. Suddenly, the chamber shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The stone circle began to glow. One of the guards screamed. His body lifted into the air, then froze. Not dead. Not alive. Time itself seemed to pause around him. His body turned gray. Like stone. Stop, Tellin shouted. We don't want war. The shadows did not move. You brought war. We are just. The answer. Tellin dropped to his knees. What do you want? The shadow touched his forehead. In a second, Tellin saw everything. Memories. Of a time when the Varnock were not conquerors, but protectors. Of a great war they started. Of a promise made that the worst of them would be sealed inside Earth. Until they returned, and now they had. Tellin fell back, gasping. It was us. We locked ourselves here. The shadow nodded. And you broke the lock. The other guard fired in panic. The shot hit the wall. The shadows vanished instantly. Run! Tellin shouted. They escaped the tunnel just before it collapsed. Rocks rained down. Dust filled the air. Back in the ship, Tellin stared at the planet below. We thought Earth was just a world, he whispered. But it's a cage, and we just opened it. He sent a message to the Varnock Council. Do not send more ships. Do Not land. Earth is not a planet. It is our past one we tried to forget, and now it remembers us. But Talon knew it was already too late, because in the valley behind them, shadows moved again. And the spiral symbol began to glow on every mountain, every tree, every river. The past was awake, and it was coming. General Varnak stood tall on the deck of the warship Eclipse. His face was cold, made from steel and pride. His eyes stared down at the planet called Earth. For the first time in his long life, he didn't feel excitement before an invasion. He felt something else. 3 missions had failed. Elite squads gone. Scientists vanished. And now reports spoke of shadows, ancient spirits, even time itself breaking. But General Varnak didn't believe in ghost stories. "We have 30 ships above the planet," said his second-in-command Larrick. "Our tech is stable. Our machines are ready." "We don't make the same mistakes," Varnak said. "This time, we don't send men, we send fire." Within minutes, the fleet prepared. Robotic drones were launched. Giant machines with drills, fire cannons, and sonic bombs fell from the sky. The mission was simple: break the planet open, search its core, crush resistance. "Burn their forests," Varnak ordered. "Silence their ghosts." The first wave of drones reached the surface. They landed across jungles, oceans, deserts. Everything seemed easy at first. "Ground contact made," one operator said. "All bots reporting green." But then, strange things began to happen. In Sector Red, the drilling bots started to spin in the wrong direction. Metal arms snapped like twigs. The ground turned soft, then swallowed them whole. In Sector Blue, fire cannons backfired. The flames turned blue and rose into the air like living serpents. The machines melted. Sector Yellow sent no signal at all. It simply vanished from the map. General Varnak frowned. "Report." The room went quiet. Larrick tapped on his screen. "Sir, it's not sabotage. It's the planet. It's fighting back." "That's impossible." "No, sir, it's reacting. Like it knows where we strike." Varnak's eyes narrowed. "Then we hit harder." He ordered the Eclipse to descend lower. Above Earth, black clouds began to gather. Lightning danced between them, strange and golden. The air crackled with energy, though no storms had been reported. As the ships got closer, something strange happened. The sky moved. Not the clouds. The sky itself. As if the world had shifted slightly, just enough to confuse sensors. Just enough to push the ships off course. One ship hit a mountain that wasn't there before. Another was struck by a lightning bolt that came from the ocean. A third just froze in the air. No damage, no fire. It simply stopped and hovered like time had paused. "Sir!" An officer shouted. "Earth is changing itself." Varnak stood. "How can a planet move mountains? Change the sky?" "We don't know," Larrick said. "But it's no longer waiting." Suddenly, alarms blared. The ground itself opened in multiple locations. From beneath Earth's crust, towers rose, ancient, not man-made, not Varnak-built. They pulsed with light. Symbols glowed on their surface, the same spiral seen in lost Varnak ruins, across the galaxy. Then, the real storm began, not just wind or rain, but living storms, rain that followed people, winds that bent around machines and crushed them like fists. Snow that froze metal in seconds. From orbit, the warships watched helplessly. One officer gasped. "The planet is attacking with weather." "No," Larrick whispered, "not weather, with memory." General Varnak watched as forests stood up like armies. Trees twisted into shapes with eyes and mouths. Rivers changed direction. The deserts turned to glass. One soldier below sent a final message. "It's not nature, it's awareness. Earth is alive." Varnak slammed his fist on the table. "Enough." He gave the order. "Fire the core bomb." Larrick hesitated. "Sir, the core bomb is unstable. Do it?" "The core bomb? A weapon designed to split planets in half was dropped. It fell through the air like a black sun, shaking the sky. But as it neared the ground, something happened no one expected. It stopped, just a few feet from Earth's surface. It floated. Then it rose slowly, calmly, and turned back toward the sky. No, Varnak whispered. The core bomb exploded in the air near one of their own ships. The eclipse shook. Lights flickered. Metal screamed. The blast should have wiped out everything within miles. Instead, it only destroyed the Varnak ships. Earth remained untouched. Lyric stared in disbelief. It used our weapon against us. Varnak stood, silent as the screen before. Him went black. Then something even more terrifying appeared. A face, made of cloud, storm, and stone. Eyes of fire. And from the ship's speakers, a voice spoke, not in Varnak language, but in every language at once. You do not understand what I am. I am not a planet. I am the prison of your sins. I was made to hold what you once were and what you became. And now you come again, Varnak shouted. We are Varnak. We fear no world. The voice answered, then you will learn fear. And you will remember. Suddenly, every ship's system failed. Weapons went cold. Engines stopped humming. Ships began to fall, not from attack, but from judgment. Lyric turned to Varnak. Should we retreat? But the general did not answer. He stared at the screen. His hands trembled. I remember now, he said softly. Lyric's eyes widened. What? We made Earth, Varnak whispered. Long ago. Before the war. Before we became monsters. It was our final gift. And our final warning. Earth below glowed not with fire, but with energy. Memories rising. Power returning. Justice waking. The war was over. Not because the Varnak surrendered, but because Earth had never been a battlefield. It had always been a sentence, and it had just been carried out. Rain fell softly as the Varnak scout ship Seeker landed on the western side of Earth. This region was far from the burning forests, the twisting deserts, and the frozen skies that had swallowed earlier teams. It looked quiet, calm, but the crew knew better. Commander Ellen stepped onto the ground. She was different from the other Varnak. She didn't believe in brute force. She believed in hidden knowledge. That's why she came not to conquer, but to understand. With her were 3 others. Jor, her loyal tech officer. Mara, a skilled navigator. And Oryx, a silent warrior who spoke with his weapons more than words. Ellen stood in the middle of a wide valley. There were no trees. No birds, just smooth, flat land stretching for miles. We're in the dead zone, said Jor, checking his scanner. No life signs, no heat, just silence. Mara stared ahead. That mountain doesn't match any Earth map. Ellen followed her gaze. Indeed, a strange mountain stood alone in the center of the valley. It wasn't made of rock. It looked metallic, black, ancient. They approached carefully. As they got closer, strange lines appeared along the mountains. Surface lines that glowed softly as they walked near, like they were waking up. Oryx raised his weapon. It's a machine. Ellen shook her head. It's a door. Without warning, the ground shook. A deep hum echoed beneath their feet. Then, a crack opened in the mountainside. A glowing tunnel stretched inside. Ellen stepped forward. Jor grabbed her arm. We shouldn't. We came for answers, she said. They're waiting inside. They entered. The walls of the tunnel were covered in symbols, spirals, stars, tall shapes with many eyes. The air was dry but not dusty. Time had not touched this place. At the end of the tunnel, the space opened wide. A vast underground city revealed itself. Towers of crystal and metal, roads made from light, floating platforms. Everything frozen in silence, but perfectly preserved. Mara gasped. This was a city? Ellen's voice shook. No, this was a civilization. They walked through the streets. Strange statues sit on corners, beings with long limbs, glowing skin, and eyes like galaxies. They don't look human. Jor said. They're not, Ellen replied. They're not Varnock either. They're something older. Oryx tapped on a pillar. It's humming. Jor checked his device. There's power here. Something is still alive. They entered a large building, tall, circular, like a temple. Or command center. In the center stood a huge sphere, floating above the ground. Inside it, lights moved like stars. Is this a map? Mara asked. Ellen approached. Her hand touched the surface. Instantly, the sphere came alive. A voice echoed. Through the room, not loud, but everywhere. We knew you would return. The crew stepped back, weapons raised. Ellen stood firm. Who are you? The voice spoke again. We are the Makers. The ones who came before. This was our world, until we gave it to you. To us? Jor asked. We never lived here. You forgot, the voice said. You changed. You became the Varnock. Ellen's eyes widened. You mean we were born here? Yes, but you chose war. So we sent you away, locked the door, buried your past. Suddenly, images appeared around the room. Holograms of the past. Beautiful cities filled with light. Peaceful beings building wonders. Then, chaos, fire, machines turning against their creators. War in the skies. We were exiled, Mara whispered. You were warned, the voice said. And now you have returned not to remember, but to destroy. Ellen stepped forward. We came to understand. We saw the storms, the shadows. The planet is fighting us. Asterisk, asterisk, because you are not visitors, the voice replied. You are prisoners, trying to escape your sentence. The lights flickered. More images appeared, Earth changing shape to trap invaders, machines waking from the ground. The spiral symbol glowing across the land. Jor looked sick. We thought we were conquerors. We were just returning to the place we were banished from, Ellen said. The floating sphere glowed brighter. We buried this civilization to protect the galaxy from what the Varnock had become. Earth is not your enemy. Earth is your cage. And now, you are shaking the bars. Suddenly, a sharp alarm blared. Oryx looked at his device. Other Varnock ships have entered Earth's orbit. Big ones. Mara's eyes widened. There. Preparing to strike again. Ellen shouted. No. We need to stop them. But the voice spoke louder now. They will not listen. You forgot your truth. But Earth remembers. And Earth is waking. The ground began to shake. Cracks ran through the floor. The towers outside flickered to life. The city wasn't just buried, it was asleep, and now it was rising. We need to get out of here. Jor shouted. They ran back to the tunnel as walls crumbled around them. The city was changing, growing, moving, coming back to life. As they escaped into the valley, it looked back. The mountain was no longer a mountain. It was a machine, a giant one. Its top opened, and a beam of light shot into the sky. What is it doing? Mara asked. Sending a signal, Ellen said. To who? To everyone. Above them, the clouds parted. A huge image formed in the sky, a memory. It showed the Varnock's true history. Their fall, their exile, their war against the Makers. The galaxy was watching. Ellen sent a message to the Varnock fleet. Do not fire. Earth is more than a world. It is our beginning. And maybe our end. But the fleet didn't answer. They had already launched their weapons. The light from the mountain rose higher, met the weapons in the sky, and shattered them like glass. The mountain machine turned slowly. Its voice filled the air. You were given a second chance. You chose to forget. Now you will remember. Ellen looked at her team. What do we do now? Jor asked. We tell the truth, she said. Oryx nodded for the first time, and behind them, the lost city of Earth rose higher. waking from its long sleep ready to judge the children it had once called its own. Dark clouds covered the sky. Lightning danced across the horizon. The air smelled of dust and metal. Earth was no longer quiet. Commander Ellen stood at the edge of the valley. Behind her, the ancient city of the Makers continued to rise. Its towers pulsed with blue light, like a giant heart waking from a long sleep. Above, the Varnock fleet hovered in low orbit. Hundreds of warships ready to strike. Ellen's voice was calm, but firm. "Try again, Jor. Open a channel to the fleet." Jor tapped his device. Still nothing. "They've locked us out." "They think we're compromised," said Mira. "They think Earth broke our minds." Oryx stayed silent, scanning the land with his weapon. His muscles were tense. He could feel it too. Something was watching them. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A loud groan came from beneath their feet. Jor looked down. "That's not just an earthquake." The valley shifted. The soil cracked in sharp lines. Great stone slabs pushed up from the earth, forming circles. Symbols lit up on their surfaces, symbols they had seen before in the buried city. "We need to move," Ellen said. They ran toward their shuttle, parked just beyond the rising ground. But the earth had already changed. Massive vines wrapped around the shuttle's legs. The ship was tilted to one side. Mara climbed up the ramp and hit the controls. "Engines offline," she shouted. "It won't start," Jor joined her. "Power systems are dead." "It's like something drained them." "It's Earth," Ellen said softly. "It won't let us leave." Oryx stepped beside her. "We're trapped." Thunder cracked above. But this thunder sounded different, like it came from inside the ground. Then they saw them. Dark shapes moved at the edge of the valley. Not animals. Not machines. Something in between. Their eyes glowed green. Their skin shimmered like rock and water mixed together. They didn't walk. They floated slightly above the ground, silent and slow. Jor raised his weapon. "What are those?" "They're not attacking," said Mara. "Not yet." Ellen held up her hand. "Don't shoot." One of the creatures stopped a few meters away. Its face had no mouth, only eyes. Eyes that seemed to know everything. Then it spoke, but not out loud. Its voice entered their minds. "You were warned. You were told to leave. Yet you returned. Again and again." Ellen stepped forward. "We remember now. We saw the truth. But our people, they forgot." "Earth does not forget," the creature said. "Earth does not forgive. We want to stop them," Ellen said. "We need to stop our fleet. But we're cut off." The creature's eyes narrowed. "Then Earth must help you." Suddenly, the symbols on the ground glowed brighter. A stone in the center cracked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading underground. Ellen looked at the others. "We follow." They descended. The tunnel was cold, but not dead. Blue light flowed through the walls. As they reached the bottom, a chamber opened before them. In the middle stood a tall machine, round, with many arms and strange lights. It hummed gently. Jor gasped. "Is this a control hub?" Ellen moved closer. The machine reacted to her touch. Holograms filled the air, maps of Earth, the Varnock ships, and something else. A signal line leading from the surface to the sky. "This can send a message," she said. Jor frowned. "Or maybe something more," Mara pointed. "Look, it's connected to Earth's core. This isn't just a transmitter. It's a defense weapon." Ellen looked at the floating images. The system was ready, but it didn't say what would happen if they activated it. "Do we warn the fleet?" she asked. "They won't listen," said Oryx. "Then we stop them ourselves," Mira said. Jor hesitated. "If we use this, we might never leave." "We're not leaving," Ellen replied. "Not yet." She reached for the control. The moment she touched it, the entire planet seemed to breathe. The clouds above spun faster. The land rumbled like a drum. In orbit, the Varnock ships paused. The command was sent from deep under Earth's surface. Thousands of light pillars shot into the sky. They locked onto the fleet like spears of lightning. On board the Varnock ships, systems failed. Engines froze. Weapons went dark. Their giant war fleet, unbeatable, unstoppable, was now helpless in the sky. The light beams didn't destroy them. They held them in place. Frozen. I stared at the screen. They're not crashing. Earth is keeping them up there. Prisoners in orbit, Jor whispered. Like we are here. Oryx spoke for the first time in hours. This planet is a perfect trap. Mara smiled darkly. And we just said it. Suddenly, the walls shook again. But this time, it wasn't Earth. A warning flashed on the console. Something was approaching. One ship, a massive one, different from the others. It's the prime vessel, Jor said. The Varnock High Command, they're here. Ellen stared at the screen. They're coming for revenge. We can't hold them all, Mara said. We don't have to, Ellen replied. We have to make them understand, Oryx stepped forward. And if they don't? Ellen looked at the machine. Then Earth will finish what it started. They climbed back to the surface. The strange creatures were still there watching, waiting. Ellen stood in the middle of the stone circle. Send the signal. Let them hear me. The wind paused. The air grew still. Then her voice echoed through the skies, powered by Earth itself. This is Commander Ellen. I speak to all Varnock. Earth is not what you think. It is not weak. It is not empty. It is alive. And it remembers us. We were exiled from this planet long ago. We were warned not to return. We forgot our past. We forgot the price. But Earth did not forget. Now it has trapped us all. We cannot win. We must not try. Silence followed. Then a single reply came. Back from the prime vessel. It was cold. It was short. Surrender is weakness. We finish what we started. Ellen looked at the sky. The massive ship was breaking through Earth's defenses. Its surface burned. But it kept coming. She turned to the machine. One last command. Activate full defense. She whispered. The machine listened. The ground split. The sky roared. From the ocean, from the deserts, from deep within the mountains, Earth's hidden weapons awoke. Beams of pure energy formed a web around the planet. The prime vessel tried to fire. It never got the chance. The sky lit up white. Then, silence. Only stars above. Jor stared at the console. It's gone. The prime vessel is gone. No debris? Mara asked. Nothing, like it was erased. Oryx looked at Ellen. What now? She looked up at the stars. We're trapped here. But so are they. The war is over. We're all prisoners now. Behind her, the creatures began to vanish, fading into the air like mist. Only one remained. It spoke once more. Earth has chosen mercy. This time. Then it, too, disappeared. The wind returned. The silence settled. Earth had won. But it had not forgotten, and it never would again. Commander Ellen stood on the cracked ground, her eyes fixed on the dark sky above. The stars were bright, but the Varnock fleet was gone. The great prime vessel had vanished without a trace, swallowed by Earth's hidden power. For the first time in centuries, silence settled over the planet, but peace was fragile. We can't stay here forever, Jor said, breaking the quiet. Our ships are lost. Our fleet is trapped in orbit. The others will come. They will send more. Ellen nodded. Slowly, Earth has held them back, but it won't stop all. Mara looked toward the rising towers of the ancient city. What if Earth is not just defending itself? What if it's sending a message? A warning? Oryx asked. Yes, Ellen answered. A final signal. Deep underground, the ancient machine hummed. Its lights flickered like a heartbeat. It was connected to the planet's core and to something far beyond. Commander, Jor said, looking at his screen. Sensors are detecting a signal, a pulse. It's single quotes S dot 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 different. Old, but powerful. Ellen frowned. Is it coming from Earth? Jor nodded. Yes, and it's growing stronger. Mara stepped closer. The signal is a message. Not just to the Varnuk, to anyone who listens. Ellen's heart beat faster. We need to understand it before it's too late. They returned to the control room beneath the city. The machine awaited them, glowing softly. Ellen placed her hand on the console. Suddenly, the room filled with light and sound. Voices whispered in many tongues, alien and familiar. Images flashed before their eyes, stars, planets, and long-forgotten battles. The Makers, Ellen whispered. They left this message. The voice of the machine spoke calm and clear. To those who find this signal, hear our story. We were many. We were strong, but pride and war tore us apart. We sealed ourselves away to protect the galaxy. We sent warnings, but they were ignored. You are the last to know. Jor's eyes widened. They sealed themselves here, on Earth? Yes, the machine said. This planet is both prison and protector. It holds the past and guards the future. If the message is ignored, destruction will follow. Ellen looked at her team. The final signal is a warning. The past mistakes will repeat if we do not. Listen, Mara's voice trembled. Can we stop it? The machine's lights pulsed. Only if you choose to remember. Only if you choose peace. Outside, the sky darkened. New ships appeared on the horizon, Varnuk reinforcements. They did not answer messages. They prepared to strike. Ellen's voice was steady. We must send the final signal ourselves. But how? Jor asked. Ellen's eyes shone with determination. Through the machine. Through Earth. We send a message of truth, of warning and hope. They worked quickly. Mara and Jor prepared the transmitter. Oryx stood guard. Ellen spoke into the ancient console. Her voice echoed across the stars. To all who listen, we come from the past, but we choose the future. Earth is not a prize to conquer. It is a guardian of truth. War has cost us much. Let this signal be a reminder. Peace is the only way forward. Remember your past. Choose wisely, the machine responded. Its lights flared, sending a wave of energy into space. The signal spread, a beacon of hope and warning. Suddenly the new fleet stopped, their weapons powered down. Ships hovered, silent. On Earth, the ground stilled. The ancient city glowed with a gentle light. Ellen breathed deeply. We did it, Jor smiled. For now. But deep in the shadows, something stirred. A darker force watching the signal, waiting. The machine's voice whispered one last message. The final signal has been sent. But the choice is not ours. The future belongs to those who remember. Ellen looked to the stars. The war was not over. But for the first time, hope had a voice. The final signal had been sent, and now the galaxy was listening. Commander Ellen stood on the edge of the ancient city as the dawn broke. The rising sun painted the towers with a golden glow, but the peace felt fragile. The galaxy was watching, and the Varnuk reinforcements were still out there, somewhere beyond. The Horizon.JO approached, his face grave. Commander, sensors picked up a strange energy signal coming from deep inside Earth. It's unlike anything we've seen. Ellen frowned. Could it be another defense system? Mara shook her head. Stronger than anything we know. It's alive. Oryx checked his weapons readings. The planet is not done with us. Ellen made a decision. We go down. There, we find out what Earth is hiding. The team prepared to descend into the deepest levels of the ancient city. The tunnels were dark, and the air grew colder with every step. As they reached the core chamber, they found a massive device covered in symbols, pulsing with light and energy. It looked like a weapon, but it felt different. Not made to destroy, but to protect. Ellen placed her hand on the console. The device hummed, and a voice echoed through the chamber, not mechanical, but calm and wise. I am the heart of Earth. It said, I am the secret you sought. Jor's eyes widened. A weapon or a guardian? The voice replied, both. I was created to protect life, to balance destruction and creation. When the Varnock came, I waited. When war followed, I slept. Mara stepped closer. Why now? Why wake? Because the time has come. The Varnock must choose. To fight or to heal? Ellen asked. Can you stop the war? I can change the course, but I need those who remember, those who choose peace. Oryx looked around. And if they don't? The heart's light dimmed. Then I become their final trial. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the city. The reinforcements had arrived. JOR shouted. They're here. Outside, the sky darkened. Ships descended, ready for battle. Ellen turned to the heart. We must use you to save Earth and ourselves. The device's power surged through her hands. She felt a connection, a bond between her, Earth, and the future. Send the message. She commanded. The heart released a wave of energy. Across the planet, forests grew brighter, rivers flowed faster, mountains hummed with life. The Varnock ships faltered, their weapons failed. Their minds filled with visions, memories of peace, creation, and the price of war. One captain yelled, "What is this madness? Our systems are shutting down." Ellen raised her voice. This is Earth's truth. Its secret weapon is not destruction, but remembrance. The fleet stopped. Silence fell. The final battle had been won, not by force, but by the power of understanding. Ellen looked to her team. We've given them a choice. Now we wait. Hours passed. The sky cleared. The reinforcements retreated. JOR smiled. Earth has saved us all, Mara nodded. But the war is not over. Not yet. Oryx watched the horizon. But now we fight with hope. Ellen raised her hand to the sky. Earth's secret weapon is the future, and it's in all of us. The ancient city glowed softly beneath their feet, alive and watching. And somewhere beyond the stars, the galaxy listened. The war had ended. But a new story was just beginning.